Bertrand Russell said this in the 40s and 50s. We'll train the public that they can't have a thought of their own or do anything themselves without the advice from an expert on anything. From having children, to how children are born, to how you change the diaper, they called it a nappy back then in Britain. Women would have to be taught by experts every step of the way, and the guys too, and what to expect. And that's happened in my lifetime. At one time, everybody just knew, from folk having children and families, as you grew up with them, you knew what was going on, you knew what was expected, you knew how to do things. You didn't need experts for anything. It's astonishing to realise that the modern medicine isn't very old at all. And it's astonishing to even look into allopathic medicine. They had a series of years ago, and it was to do with the medicines and pharmacology that were sold right through the 1800s into the early 20th century, and a good part of the 20th century. That was all bogus. And most of the medications were completely bogus, even made out of earthworms. There's a good series, this is factual, this is what they had until they really got into the more advanced chemicalized biology, the biochemistry. So it's a pretty new field, really. But like any new field, when big money is backing it, the incredible amount of money that pharmacology makes today is astonishing. Wherever you have such money at stake and profits and very important people, ordinary folk are not important in this system, you see, just very wealthy folk who are important in this system. That's why they make you worship them, the wealthy folk, and folk do. Then you can never have honesty. You can't have honesty of any possible kind. Even if you had some decent people, in a miracle situation where you had one or two decent folk at the very top of pharmacology, which wouldn't happen in this cutthroat system, the competitors would go bypass, do their own thing anyway, and do whatever they thought was unethical to get more profit. They'd do it, absolutely. And that's why they lobby government, and that's why they put politicians into power, financially. And that's also why they combine with elitists and eugenicists that want to change society by using diet, injections and injunctions. Pharmacology, and Aldous Huxley warned us all, in a certain sense. He was a Sir Mills type character, where he said it, not just at Berkeley University, but also in his books. He had some non-fiction books as well, where he talked about the follow-up to his book Brave New World, and how all these things in it could be and probably would be implemented eventually by those who had the power in society to implement upon the public. And that's all happened. He did warn on public television on the Mike Wallace interview, where he said, well, with the techniques we have now and where it can go, because they knew the rate of change in society in these behavioral sciences and so on. He said the techniques of persuasion, they could get people to do things eventually that perhaps wasn't in their best interest. He knew how advanced it was then in the 1960s and where it would end up going, and it's all happened. He was careful not to say so much in the talk that he was all for it. You got to remember that Aldous Huxley belonged to the Huxley family, a scientific elite, amongst many other parts of the scientific elite, the dominant science group that ran the world on behalf of the dominant minority, the ones who ran all the finances above them.